Hello everyone, welcome to LYB Learn Your Business. If you are looking for a real content for learning, this is the place. Okay, I'll see you then. Good morning, Akshay.
Good morning.
I welcome you in my very first recording of Learn Your Business.
Thank you. Good to be
Okay,
part of it.
thanks. I'm glad you became part of it. Okay, so to begin, I would first definitely like to know how your journey has been throughout since you started till now in industry.
Sure, sure. So I started my IT career back in 2006. And at that point of time, IT as an industry was not booming or was not on a path of success at that point of time. But nevertheless, the 18 years of experience so far has been enriching. Um, uh, uh, Throughout this career, been playing a different kind of roles, being associated with different organizations. Started in a service-based industry, then moved to a product-based industry. So this has been a learning experience. Quite a few quite a lot of things I've learned through working in different organizations, different clients, different locale from the geography perspective. So yeah, it has been a learning experience both from the technology standpoint, from people management standpoint, from client management standpoint, risk management, stakeholder management standpoint. So overall, yeah, it's been a learning experience, and continue to learn more as I progress in my IT experience.
So congratulations for that. Since beginning you reached to that level, I really appreciate it. Takes lots of, I'll say, courage to face
True.
everything. So I
Right.
have set couple of questions,
Okay.
just to make this conversation more live
Sure.
and spontaneous.
Okay.
Okay, so as you have spent most of your time in IT and healthcare industry,
Hmm.
right, implementing IT in healthcare industry, rather I should say.
Hmm.
If we talk about current era, or since COVID hit,
Hmm.
after that this technology is very rapidly evolving,
Hmm.
very rapidly.
Right.
So how this health, in as per your experience, how healthcare segment or healthcare industry is able to cope up with that evolution of technology?
Indeed, I think healthcare as an industry has been appreciative of the fact that after COVID, technology is the only way for them to move forward and reach out to the masses. Uh, 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 Pre-COVID times, I think the digital transformation in the healthcare domain was not something that was taken wholeheartedly by the clients. But post COVID, there has been a change in the mindset. And that has resulted in many digital transformation projects across the healthcare domain, so that the business on these sites also understand that until unless they are not abreasting the latest and greatest technologies that is prevailing, these guys will fade away with time. So digital transformation has been something that has been taken wholeheartedly by the healthcare domain in all aspects, and business is spending a significant amount of their spend on the IT projects because of it. So that is something which is a good sign for IT as a whole, and this has been across the globe, be it in US or in UK. These are the predominant markets that I have worked on.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a whole, digital transformation is something that is going to prevail in the coming years also, and the spend because of that by the business on the IT will continue.
Okay, so in short, it's like the things are disrupting in healthcare industry because of
Yes,
IT, we can say.
yes, it is disrupting. People are appreciating that fact, and people have accepted that yes, until unless the disruption doesn't happen, they will not be on the upward trend. They will become stagnant.
So, few examples about this disruption while you working on projects or you experience something.
Um, so, see, predominantly the disruption has been on how the technology has been used by the healthcare domain to run their applications, to run their business. In my experience, most of the healthcare applications that were there, those were all developed back in 80s and 90s, and at that point of time the language or the programming language that was prevalent was in COBOL or mainframe. People on the business side, they were quite happy with those languages and the constraints that those languages were bringing to the application or to the business. They were not agreeing to change those languages because people always have that feeling that if something is working, why to change it. um, um, so, but post COVID, what has happened is because of the digitalization across the globe that has happened, people on the business side have realized that these languages do have their own constraints. They can reach up to a certain level only, but not to the conditions or to the market trends that these guys on the business have to reach, because of the as I said, because of the rapid digitalization that is happening across the globe. So that has resulted in, first of all and predominantly, the digital transformation of the applications from mainframe of COBOL to latest technologies like Java, JavaScript, Angular JS on .NET. So basically, it's more of multi-threaded environments, more towards cloud-based movement, so that their data is secured. First of all, they can reach out to multiple users across the globe, uh, uh, with a check on the cost part of it, because cost, as you know, on the business side, the cost is always the primary factor. But yeah, latest technologies do give that kind of a leverage to them. So that, in my opinion, has been the major digital transformation trend that I have seen, changing from the legacy technologies to the latest and greatest technologies. And of course, cloud becomes the integral part of this digital transformation. So
So
yeah,
that
that's the point.
must have also resulted in reducing operational cost a lot.
It does, it does, it does, because when we are talking about 80s 90s technologies, those were all on premise. So you need to have a physical server, you need to have your own data centers, and those data centers were costly affairs for them. And just if you think from a business perspective, maintaining a data center, maintaining those physical servers, they doesn't return to the business the ROI that they expect when
Yeah.
they put money on the IT spend. So they always feel that this is something which is not required. But as an IT technician, you understand and you appreciate the fact that until unless these data centers are not there, these servers are not there, your application will not run in the first place.
Yeah.
And with the cyber security becoming an integral part, these physical servers, data centers becomes the first target for attack. And data breach has been a common norm with these older archaic technology setups. Um, so that is something that uh, uh, now business is seeing benefit, because now if you're moving to cloud, moving to serverless technologies, with all the data being restored on cloud, which is fail safe. secured, and cost effective. That has given confidence to business that yes, these spend on these things are required, but they are not much in the amount perspective, and they are secured. That is giving them a confidence that yes, IT spend is required, but not to that extent what they used to do in the 80s and 90s when mainframe and COBOL was prevalent technologies. So yeah, that shift in mindset has really helped business to achieve their goals first of all, and that has resulted in significant projects in the IT side being driven by the companies, various companies, IT driven companies.
So it won't be wrong to say this disruption has also built kind of an interaction between different streams, which was not earlier, or one stream was thinking another is not useful for us.
Uh, See, if I hear if I wear a IT technician cap, for us, business was always an integral part, because until unless the business, we don't understand what business wants within the application, it was hard to build that application from scratch.
But it should be
But
vice versa, right? Business
it
should
should
also
be
understand it's integral. So
right,
I
right.
think business understood IT is integral for us also,
Yes,
which
yes.
was not earlier.
Yes, that has happened. That has really happened, and that collaboration and two-way traffic has helped both the business and the IT to deliver applications and products more faster. And business. So what has happened now is, even on the business side also, there are IT folks who understands the IT, how architecture works, how data works, how data gets stored. So some understanding of the IT infrastructure, IT architecture has helped business also to drive their business goals in a way that aligns with how IT market is being driven. That was not the case earlier. They were quite adamant on what they needed, without understanding the fact that are there any limitations on the IT side, which because of which it cannot be delivered. So there was always a tussle between the business and IT earlier times, but that has reduced significantly now.
So
So
now,
to answer your question, yes, yes, that two-way traffic has helped both the business and the IT.
so someday it's resulted in setting its own benchmark every other day.
Oh yes, definitely, it does, and that is going to help us in the future as well. More collaboration, more faster the application would be delivered, more agile the application would be, and what has also helped business, because they now understand how IT works, IT environment ecosystem works, is when they are deciding on a business application or a business goal, they are also now looking at something 5 years down the line, how the current application would sustain and scale to their business needs 5 years down the line. So that has also helped IT side folks to deliver a scalable product that can sustain 5 years down the line. Nowadays, we don't talk about 10-year agenda. We only talk about 5 years because, as you know, the technology changes rapidly. What
People
is
also leave rapidly.
People also leave rapidly, and what is hot pick right now may become stagnant 5 years down the line. That's the life
I
term
think
that a
5 years is
technology
even
has.
longer time.
Yeah,
In
that may
COVID, Node, React boomed
correct,
like anything, but there is another technology came in which is
correct.
a kind of an advanced thing to Node. So
True.
it's like in every 2 3 years, it's changing its
Yeah,
dynamics.
yeah. I think that 5 year bracket also will get reduced to 1 year or 2 years. Pretty soon that is going to happen.
Right now, we can say in 5 years, this tech will become a legacy.
Yes, yes, that will happen. Earlier, it used to be 20 years, 25 years. Now it's going to be 5 years. That's very well said, Manju.
Okay, so now move to our next question. As
Hmm.
you have worked with service as well as product based organization, and that too a very different, I'll say, industries.
Hmm.
One is IT come healthcare, another one is energy, oil, gas, and all.
Right.
So I have basically two questions associated with this. First thing, like considering current market is moving towards very niche, okay,
Hmm.
irrespective of every profile,
Hmm.
they want person specifically to that industry experience,
Hmm.
okay. And now service and product,
Hmm.
so these are two different things. So how you find it different in your experience first working with service and product? What are the dynamics get changed? Okay.
Okay.
And another is like in terms of, I'll say, industry wise,
Hmm.
because in both industries you were anyway working on IT applications and IT applying IT, okay.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
first was healthcare and the later one was this energy, oil, gas. So
Hmm.
how these things were different?
Okay. So, answering your first question on the difference of working in a service-based industry or a product-based industry, uh, I think it is vastly different, Manju. And any newcomer who is joining the IT
Okay.
should certainly have experience working in both the environments. What service industry gives you is there is a set process. One has to follow those process diligently. And service-based industries always believe in customer first focus. Whatever customer needs, that needs to be delivered on time, in a perfect quality. Product based industry works differently from the service based in that perspective, that if a product is something to be delivered but the product is not up to the mark, you still have time to deliver that product. um, uh, uh, there is no set deadline in terms of a certain product has to be delivered in the market by so and so time. You can deliver piece by piece products as well. But in service industry that doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Once you have a product or an application delivered to the client, if the application is not performing as per the business outcome, it has to be modified, it has to be updated in a speculated time that has been agreed upon with the business.
At
And
the very initial stage.
at the initial stages as well, or even if the product is already in production, and then it is not meeting the business goals, that may be because the business didn't understand how the application was working in the pre-production environment, or by the time the application was developed and deployed in production, the business goal got changed. That also has happened many times. So in both the occasions, the even the production, the application that is in production, if it has to be modified or changed or altered or enhanced, um, then it has to be done in a very stringent timeline as agreed upon with the business. Um,
Okay, I
so
would like to interrupt here.
yeah, sure.
This is out of the context question. Like currently, we have two methodologies. One is agile, second one is safe.
Mhm.
You must have exposed to both.
Correct.
Okay, so how these two things play a role to I'll say finish things within timeline.
It does help, Manju. I think because of the agile and safe methodologies that has come in the market, and people, organizations are accepting those kind of methodologies. Both the products and applications are getting delivered on time, and those disruptions that we saw when we were following the waterfall fashion, that you had your requirements a year ago, 2 years ago, and after 2 years the application or the product was getting delivered. in that 2 years time frame, the business goal or the business vision used to get changed, or what was anticipated during the requirement phase and what came out as a final product, it was hugely different. There was a huge gap in between. So those things are getting addressed because of the agile and safe.
Okay.
What is happening is you are delivering smaller pieces of things, smaller pieces of applications or products, and before you roll it out, you are demonstrating that to the product owners or to the business stakeholders. So if there are feedbacks, you are getting those feedbacks upfront. You are getting time to modify, alter that, and then deliver that to production.
So
Um,
it puts
uh,
checks at intervals or
yeah,
every stage.
yeah. The gating mechanism is now left shifted rather than it used to be right shifted during the waterfall fashion.
Okay.
So that has really helped both the business and the IT side. Because it used to cost a lot once you have the application in production,
Understand.
and now your business is asking you to make a change. It cost, so you need to pay for that, and business used to think, why should I pay for that when my vision, what was there, was never delivered in the first place by the application or the product. So yeah, agile has helped in total.
And how safe is different from agile?
See, it's all about methodology. I think if someone has to accept or adopt this methodology, first they need to go through agile. Because once you become mature in agile, then you can move to safe.
Okay.
From the methodology perspective, I think both of them are more or less same. But in my experience, an organization who has been on waterfall should never turn into safe right away. They
Okay.
should take baby steps. First adopt agile, at a smaller scale, adapt to the principles of it, make people mindset change to the agile methodologies, and once you become mature in that, then you should move to safe. That would help you to follow agile on a larger scale in larger organizations. So
Okay.
that's the significant difference between agile and safe.
Okay. Now move back to our question. We were discussing about service and product. So I'm
Right.
assuming we are almost finished that part.
Correct. Correct.
So the next question.
Next question. So your next question was more on how industry is accepting IT. In my experience, um, I think see what I've worked so far is on automobiles, energy and utilities, and health and care. These are the three significant domains that I've worked on. In my experience, healthcare and automotive have accepted IT more rapidly and more wholeheartedly than the oil and gas or
Okay.
energy utilities. Um, I had the privilege of working for Toyota Motors North America,
Okay.
and if you are following Toyota Motors North America, earlier they used to be called an automotive organization. They are no longer an automotive organization. They are a digital organization who
Okay.
delivers automotives that aligns to the digitalization part of it. So with this vision, you can imagine the shift in the business side of how they would like to see Toyota 5 years or 10 years down the line.
Okay.
If they continue to think as an automotive, they will never be able to accept digitalization as an integral part.
Right. And cope up
Um,
with the market
Cope up with the market.
expectations.
Exactly. So that mindset change has really helped made Toyota to be the number one for a significant amount of years.
Okay.
Same thing I've seen in healthcare in both US and UK market,
Okay.
and that has been unfortunately thanks to COVID. Now I'm saying unfortunately because of the scenario we went through, all of us during the COVID
Yeah.
times. But yeah, post COVID, people acceptance, as I said earlier, people acceptance to the digitalization has been more than it was during the pre-COVID times. So yeah, I think every industry has a different opinion about IT. some industry take it earlier, uh, sooner than later. And organizations like Toyota, who have been forefront in accepting digitalization, their vision itself has changed. That has helped them and the IT to prevail and sustain in this ever changing market.
So, for example, I would like to mention here, before couple of days before, I was talking to one of the director of Luminar Technologies.
Mhm.
They are working on this LiDAR
Okay.
technology and
Hmm.
get associated with Volvo. So I think it's another evolution in IT, which was in a process, but
Hmm.
now it's conceptualizing like self-driving cars and all.
Right.
So
Right.
that is something, you don't have to learn. You can simply get the vehicle and it will drive for you.
Right. 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 And see, that's a very good example that you talked about, Manju. And what has also happened now is, uh, now the IT application or the products that are getting developed, they are being developed with the mindset that uh, how a business user can use this application without depending on the IT support. So
Okay.
self-help kind of concept have started getting implemented in the IT applications and the products. So let's take, if I give an example, if I as a business user is using an application and I get stuck because of the bug in the application, or if particular data is not getting shown as expected. Earlier times, business user used to uh, hold their work, call the customer care, raise a ticket, and then wait for that ticket for resolution by the IT support team backend.
So again,
So
reducing the operational cost instead.
again, yeah, reducing the operational cost, the turnaround time, because as a business user I am supposed to do something else, but now I'm in phone with the IT support guys who is asking me to share my screen, walk me through, asking me to walk through the bug or the issue that you have. And then IT support team will take their own time to resolve the issue, because they have to check that in the pre-prod environment. So this entire turnaround time used to be a disruption for the business user. But now this entire process is getting automated or digitalized. You don't have to now call the customer care. And now the applications or the products are getting developed where if the application itself is seeing that the data is not right or the bug is there, it will log the issue, it will create the ticket on your behalf, it will reach out to the IT support team with all the details that are required for them to troubleshoot, and that would help the IT support team to resolve that issue faster. And in this entire operation, the business user need not call the customer care, need not wait for the resolution to happen. So whatever they were expected to do out of the application, they will continue to do that, while behind the scenes the IT support team, with all the details that being captured because of the AI ML, or because of how the applications are getting developed, it helps them to resolve the issue faster and revert back to the business users on a faster space. So this is something that is helping business users, and this is also helping them to learn or love the application, because they are not going into that hassle of getting into the customer care and waiting for the
Altogether, it
ticket
saves
resolution.
lots of time,
Yeah, it saves a lot of time, and as you said, the operational cost gets reduced significantly,
and time is money.
and time is money. Absolutely, nowadays time is money.
Right. Okay, so let's move to our another question. Like, as you have worked on variety of projects, but
Mhm,
there must be one or two projects which are close to your heart,
mhm.
or maybe something very very critical, but with you were able to deliver that.
Right, right.
So, just one a project which was kind of a very complex and something a good memory, because when we expose something it becomes bad, but when we are able to deliver it,
Mhm.
it's good. So
Right.
just
Sure, sure. So Yes, there is one project which is close to my heart, which I delivered almost 6 7 years back, and this was for Toyota Motors North America. Um, so the project was about changing their IAM, the authentication and authorization system, from SiteMinder to the Oracle IAM products. Um, um, SiteMinder at that point of time was not performing well. It was not meeting the ever demanding needs what Toyota had for their applications, and that was resulting in performance degradations. The SiteMinder itself was not working, and you can imagine any authentication and authorization system is a central part of the entire IT infrastructure or IT ecosystem. If that fails, you are not able to access any of the applications. So that's a major business disruption. So when Toyota decided to move to the Oracle products, at that point of time, I at that point of time was working for Cognizant Technology Solutions, which was the outsourcing one of the outsourcing organizations for Toyota. Uh, so Toyota hired a consulting firm for this migration of the project, and because we were outsourcing organizations maintaining their applications, any changes in the applications were our responsibility. So the challenging situation for us was, consulting firm was new, so they didn't understand the Toyota ecosystem. So the architectural changes that they were suggesting, we had to fight back with them in terms of what will work, what will not work. Toyota has given them a stringent timeline that the entire migration project for the entire 190 plus applications of Toyota has to be migrated in a 1 year time span. So we were running against time. That was another challenge. Third thing was, at that point of time, business was not appreciating the fact that this migration project, how is this going to help them, because their mindset was, any migration project at that point of time, it's a pure IT project. Why should business users spend their time on it? And so that was another challenge that we had to overcome in terms of how to change their mindset, how to bring them in the wagon that migration projects are not just pure IT projects, even business can get involved, and this will give them an opportunity to enhance the applications also. Because new whenever a new features or a new product is coming into the market and you are adopting it, that gives you more privilege and more accessibility in terms of what all business can deliver out of those applications. So these were the three challenges that we had at that point of time, and it was a learning experience for me, because till that time I have not worked on such a complex ecosystem. And after delivering this migration project, what I learned was a couple of things. Stakeholder management, I learned how to maintain stakeholders. What are the different type of stakeholders are there? There are categories of stakeholders, whom to be in touch always, whom not to be in touch always, whom we can be in touch at a significant amount of time. Then risk management I learned, in terms of how what are the severities of risk you have, what are the mitigations that you need to deliver, how those risk and mitigations needs to be communicated to business and to the IT management side of it, get their acceptance, get their buy-in, and then deliver that. And then one other thing that I learned was, any migration project, what people do is, when they are ready to move to production, they do a big bang. One night they will just switch from older system to new system, and then anything that happens post production, we will tackle that later point of time. But that's not a good strategy. The strategy that one must follow is, go baby steps, do a stage by stage rollout. What that helps you is, once you are in production, in the stage manner. If there are bugs in the application, you get time to fix that and move that in the next phase. You also get to see how people are accepting the new application, and you get a chance to get their feedback, incorporate those feedbacks in the newer versions of the applications that you are rolling it out. And your chances of rollback, if it happens in an unforeseen circumstances, you don't have to spend too much time in the rollbacks as well. If the rollback has to happen, if you're doing a stage manner, the rollbacks also are smaller in terms of time and effort. So that is one thing that one must always follow. And if you think about it, that is nothing but agile. If you really think about it, you are taking baby steps. You are getting time to get their feedback, incorporate that, roll it out. If the rollback happens, you get time to revert back to the older
So your
applications
whole
in
system will not crash.
the system will not crash. You will not be in a mayhem situation where you did a big bang, nothing is working. Now you need to now you have disrupted the business, you
Now
have
you don't know
disrupted it.
what's the problem.
Yeah, and you don't get time to resolve the problem because there are too much pressures at that point of time, because business is on top of your head, that my users are not able to access the application. What you have done, I was never appreciating the fact that this migration project should have kick-started in the first place. So all that pressure is there, and because of that pressure, you don't get time to resolve the issues. So yeah, these were some of the challenges that I learned, which helped me to deliver my future projects in my IT experience.
Okay. So another question I have, like as you mentioned, you work with US people also, you work with UK people also,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely with Indians. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there must be like every country population has its own work dynamics, its own personalities and working culture, right?
Right.
So what difference you find among these three?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now if we have to pick one or two things from US working style and the way people work, similarly from UK, and if we inculcate those things in Indians in working
Mm-hmm.
culture,
Mm-hmm.
to improve altogether the enhancement of work, productivity, and thought process altogether, I'll say, an approach towards that particular work,
Mm-hmm.
then what it should be.
Okay. Okay. And that's a good question, Manju, I must say. Uh,
Thank you.
US people, they are more frank when it comes down to dealing on day to day business. If they don't like anything, they will not hesitate to put their thought out right in front of you. They are blunt in sometimes as well when it comes down to the feedback. But UK people are not like that. They are more subtle. Even if they have a feedback about you, they will not tell you in front of you. They will tell that to your reporting manager, or your management side.
Okay, I have one
Um,
question here
yeah.
in reference to UK. So, the kind of behavior you're explaining about US people, so there might be less corporate politics with that kind of thing, or they do have a lot.
I think
Or it,
corporate politics is there, Manju, everywhere, irrespective of which
okay,
geography you belong to. um, but yeah, one must be away from the corporate politics. Don't be part of that. That's the only way you can sustain your IT career, and that way you can work in a hassle-free, tension-free environment. Otherwise, these corporate politics can eat you, both
drain
physically
your
and mentally.
energy
Yeah, it can drain your energy significantly.
and focus
Uh,
also.
yeah, focus also, definitely. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so let's move back
yes,
to the point.
coming back to the point. So as I said, UK people, they don't give you feedback right in front of you, right in your face. And when it comes down to people in India, I think we uh, how should I say this? We don't know how to say no. If someone asks us to do something, we will, because we are hesitant, and our upbringing is like that, we can't say no to anyone. We just accept it, and because we have accepted it, whatever times it takes, and if even if it is beyond your working hours, we work and deliver that. But that's not the case with US folks.
So
If
let's
you
talk the positive perspective of it, because like although it's a thing we should learn to say no,
Mhm,
okay, but we get too many things on us. I
mhm.
think it also increase our learning curve. We learn too many things,
It does.
which
It
we
does.
may not if we say no.
Correct. Correct. See,
And negatively, it gives a lot of burden and pressure.
right, right. Absolutely. You hit the nail, Manju. We Because of our ability to not to say no, we become jack of all. We learn everything, and because of that, and that has been one of the reason why Indian IT has been prevailing in this entire globe. People are reaching out to Indians not just because of the cost effectiveness. That again is an important reason, but they know that if something is given to the Indians to deliver, they'll be able to deliver that. That, as you rightly put, is the positive part of it, the merit of not saying no to it. But yeah, the demerit of it, I think what has happened is our work life balance has gone for a toss.
Yeah,
And because of the significant pressure that is happening, the mental state and the physical health of our IT folks is degrading day by day. And because of the lifestyle that we all are uh, maintaining, I think these issues of health, like cardiac arrest, asthma, back pains, shoulder pains, all that is happening. That is a demerit, and I feel after spending 18 years of it, I think that work-life balance is required if you want to sustain in this industry for a longer time. Otherwise, by the time you reach 25 years of experience, you'll be in a state of too many pressures, too many health conditions on you. That is going to take a toll on your lifestyle, uh,
agree.
and to your family as well.
Right.
Um, and That's why, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen US folks. If something is there in their plate, if something additional things gets added, which makes them work beyond their working hours,
They charge for it.
they they charge for it, and before charging they just say simply no, no, I can't do it. uh, uh, Plain and
If they
simple.
don't want to.
Yeah, there is no ifs and buts, plain and simple, no. And it cannot be delivered now. That makes it easy for them, because then they know till what time they have to work, and after they are done with it, they need to enjoy their life. And that shows on their health conditions also, because I've seen folks who are 50 plus and still hale and hearty,
Yeah.
no medical conditions and all. But if you see Indians at 50 and 60, none of us will say that I'm without any medical conditions. So,
So we
so
should
I
start with selective no or selective yes.
Yeah, yeah, we cannot change our paradigm right away. Yeah, but as you said, selective no. And that has to be across the chain, Manju. um, uh, if my junior is saying no, then I should also accept and appreciate that if he's
This
saying
is,
no,
I
I
think,
should.
a very predominant issue with Indians,
Hmm,
because we take things, I will not say everyone, but
mhm.
most of it. They take things personally. How could he say no to me?
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. I think that management style also needs to be corrected, if we have to start
So
saying
it's like a
selective no.
system correction is needed.
Yeah, yeah, a system correction is needed right across the chain. One must understand that if a person is saying no, there must be a reason behind it. and he should not force that person to accept, and should not, as you said, should not take it personally that how he said no to me.
I think that is a whole new topic to discussion.
Yeah.
So we'll
True.
stop here and go back to our point.
Right, right, sure.
So what things we can pick from UK and US to make our life easier? I think we already considered US to say no.
Right, right,
What
right.
about UK?
Um, I think UK people are more methodical in terms of planning. When they initiate a project or think about a project, they will think about all perspective before getting into the implementation part of it, which is a good thing. That of course takes a significant amount time for you to kickstart a project, but at least by the time you kickstart a project, you are well prepared in terms of what all things needs to be done, what all documentations are required for a project, how the execution would happen. Everything is there on the paper. So when you kickstart, you just need to execute it. Um, this kind of a behavior is there in US, but not to a good extent. But I've seen
Okay.
that significantly in UK. Unfortunately, I've not seen that in Indian people. I think when we get a
So we
project,
only get it, oh, I am very strong, I have a very strong gut feeling, we should do it,
yeah,
we'll see whatever happen.
correct, correct.
So we
Everything
should
is there on the
need
mind.
good enough time for planning, have plan A, plan B, plan
Correct,
C with all pros and cons.
correct, correct. We as an Indians don't do that. Whenever there is a simple example, I will say when we kickstart a project, of meeting that happens. Where you bring everyone who is responsible and who, because of whom the project would have an outcome. You bring everyone there, come to a same page in terms of what this project vision is, how it has to be delivered, who are the stakeholders who have to deliver certain milestones. So everything gets discussed over there.
It's like
Most of the
brainstorming is needed.
brainstorming needed, right? At least people know that what are their roles and responsibilities in this project.
And
But
we call it, like when I was doing MBA, we call it management by objective. It's a very basic theory. When we
right.
start doing MBA, we still not follow it, and we have like millions of MBA.
Hmm.
But if you talk to them, if you ask them, they don't know it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
They
I'm your senior, I'm telling you, you have to do it.
correct,
Irrespective of whether you know why to do it and
correct,
how to do it, I don't
correct,
care about that. You have to do it. That's it.
correct, correct, correct. So it's all theory, as you rightly put. We just hear that out in the theory, but when it comes down to the practicality part of it, we always miss that. What happens because of that is, if you are not methodical, if you are not, everything is not there on paper, and mind it, you will not be 100% when you are doing the planning, because there will be many factors that would be variable to it, but at least things which are constant, if it is there on paper, when you come down to the execution part of it, if something goes wrong during that time, you don't have to put your head down, or you don't have to break your head in terms of how to resolve that, because if it is there on paper, you know how I can get out of it. Variable situations, variable factors is where you can put your energy and focus in resolving those situations when you're delivering a project. So yeah, that is something that we can imbibe from the UK folks in terms of how to put our energy and effort in planning more, then rather than doing it on the fly. We do it on the fly. When it comes down to problem, yeah, then we'll start thinking about it, then try to resolve it. Yeah, we can avoid that kind of scenario.
Okay, so we talked about work life balance and all. So, how do you manage that thing?
Um, See, the principle that I followed is every day, make a priority of list of things that you need to do. And uh, when you're making a priority of the list, it should be broken down into two things: things that you have to do on your own, because no one else can do that. Prioritize that list. Secondly, prioritize the list that you can delegate to your reporting folks.
I think that is the
Um,
another learning which people need to learn while they are
yes.
in business,
Correct.
it's like they try
Delegation.
to say I have done all these things, but they did not realize whether I am actually what should I say, I am actually creating a value by doing this or not.
Correct.
So that
Correct.
is very much needed to
Correct.
learn for people.
I think delegation is something that one must learn, and we don't put a lot of effort and significance to the delegation part of it. We, as an individual, think that if something is there, why should I delegate? I can do it myself. But that is going to take a toll on your priority list. And if you're not doing a delegation, you're not mentoring people who will be the next leaders in the
I
IT.
agree with that. It's like until you don't empty your hand, you cannot take anything new.
Exactly,
Otherwise, it
exactly,
will fall down. You won't
exactly.
even realize.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And as you said, if your management asks you to take something else, you will always say that my bucket is always full, because you are not delegating it. So that also makes an impact on your IT experience. Because of that, you don't move up the ladder so fast, so promptly. So delegation is required. I think that is one thing that will also help you in your work life balance. And third thing that you said, which I've started following, is selective no. If something cannot be delivered today, plain and simple, say no to it. uh, uh, Give them a reason that this is why it cannot be done, and give them an alternative that if it cannot be delivered today, I can get it delivered tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or a speculated time. I think these three things uh, are something that I have been doing to maintain a work life balance.
Okay, that was really insightful, I must say. So now, in my personal belief, everyone follow few core values and ethics
Mhm,
in their professional life as well as in their personal life.
mhm.
So, what are these values or ethics for you?
Um, Sure, that's a good question, Manju. I've been following three ethics basically in my 18 years of experience. One, be empathized to the people who are working with you. Empathy is very much required in this industry, not just in industry but in any kind of industry. Be empathized to the people, be available to your people whenever it's needed, and that can be any time of the day. If someone needs your help, if you are available, people will appreciate that fact, and people will stick around with you because of that thing. And third is more to do with be agile, be truthful to your organization, to your clients. Don't take them for a ride. And if something is going wrong, tell them upfront that this is going wrong. At least voice out your opinion about it, and don't be first about if you have made your opinion but things are still not getting changed. Don't be first about it. It Always accept the fact that it takes time to make a change in an organization, and depending on the organization size, the amount of years to make that change also changes. But yeah, make your opinion, voice your opinion, and don't be first about it. And yeah, be truthful about it, and empathize to your people, and be available to your people whenever they need it. These are the core mantras that have been following.
I think the last one you mentioned, that is very much needed for our youngster also to learn, because they have so many ideas they put but things don't happen, then they get into frustration,
Mm.
too much of backbitching about their managers, their
Correct.
company, and altogether either they were in positive mood but that shift them into a negative mood, which
Exactly.
altogether like affect their own mental health,
True.
their own productivity, and also somehow they become a victim of, knowingly or unknowingly, they become a victim of that uh, politics, I'll say.
Politics also, right.
So
And
they
that,
really need to be
yeah,
careful about that.
correct. And the negative outcome of that is then they start thinking of switching companies more often, uh, uh, because they think, as you said, they think the organization is not uh, accepting the ideas that I have for making a change. Why should I spend money and effort on that? Let me switch the companies. I think, as you rightly said, that the youngsters should follow this mantra that be patient, things will happen.
Okay, so my last question for you, any specific message you want to give to our youths, who are currently at their mid level of career or want to start their career in any of the field,
Sure.
not just IT,
Uh,
I'll say, uh,
hmm,
any of the
sure,
field.
sure. I think three things that comes to my mind. One, be agile in terms of your approach. Don't be don't be adamant on it, on how you want to get your things done. If you are agile, then people will appreciate that yes, you are a workable person, and you'll be more associated with teams more often than not. So that's one. Secondly, now since IT is becoming an integral part of any organization, uh, uh, adapt the IT or adapt the technology on a faster pace, rather than rather than having the notion that if I've learned one technology, I'll stick around with that. I think that era is gone. That era used to be there in the 90s, 2000, not anymore. As we talked about, every 5 years, the technology will become archaic. You will also become archaic if you stick around with one technology. Uh, and third, last but not the least, I think this mindset of switching companies every year, every 2 years, I think that doesn't give a youth the exposure that they need in a longer run in any organization.
I agree.
I think,
They may get
yeah,
money,
I think
but
one must,
when you talk
yeah,
to them
they'll
after
get
3 4
money.
years, they are
Correct.
blank because they most
They,
of do copy paste. And
correct,
when you talk
correct.
about core, they don't know anything. Even don't know how
They
to
don't know
code the
anything.
basics.
Exactly, exactly. So one must spend at least 4 to 5 years in an organization, understand how the organization works, because once you understand the end-to-end process, then whenever you decide to switch, that helps you in adapting to the new environment or new organization on a faster pace. um, uh, and the other way to think is the organization also, when they are screening profiles, when they see a person who has been sticking around with an organization for quite some time, they also feel that if I hire this person, this particular individual will stick around for a significant amount of time. So the ROI that the organization will get by hiring an individual, they will see that also as a beneficial factor when they hire an
Agreed.
individual.
And I
So
think another fact is they'll also see if you stick to one company after some time, they'll also consider that employer loyalty thing. So you get,
correct,
good amount of promotions and those
correct,
additional responsibilities in your bucket instead of just having
exactly,
titles
exactly,
while switching company and doing the same thing.
correct, absolutely, exactly. That's the right way to put it, Manju. So these are the three things that I would advise any youngsters who wants to join an organization.
Okay, Akshay, it was really nice speaking with you. You
Pleasure.
shared lots of knowledge, enlighten us. So I would definitely like to wrap up our discussion here. And everyone, if you like this video, do let us know. And if you want to hear Akshay again, then also do let us know.
Pleasure, Manju. It was a good experience for me as well. And as I said, congratulations for starting this thing. I hope all the best for you. You should make some significant progress on it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for inviting
Thank you,
me.
Akshay. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
nice
Take
day.
care.
Bye bye.
Hello again, guys. I hope you like this video with Akshay Sengvi. So, if you like this content, do like and subscribe so you won't be missing our upcoming videos. Okay? And if you want to hear him again, make sure to comment. Okay, I'll see you again. Bye bye.